I still remember the day I found that mirror at Mrs. Henderson's garage sale, sitting there against the peeling white fence with its ornate golden frame, catching the afternoon sunlight in a way that made my breath hitch. And I know this sounds dramatic, but I swear something pulled me toward it, an invisible thread tugging at my chest as I walked past tables of dusty books and chipped teacups. The mirror was beautiful in an old-fashioned way, the kind of thing you'd see in a Victorian mansion, with intricate carvings of roses and thorns winding around the frame. And when Mrs. Henderson told me it was only $20, I didn't even hesitate before pulling the crumpled bills from my pocket. I carried it home that Saturday afternoon feeling inexplicably excited, like I'd found some kind of treasure, and my mom just rolled her eyes when I hauled it up to my bedroom, saying I had enough junk already, but I could keep it if I promised to clean my room. That first week was normal, or at least I thought it was normal. I'd look at myself before school and see exactly what I expected, my messy brown hair and tired eyes staring back at me. Nothing unusual or strange except maybe the mirror made me look slightly prettier somehow. It started small, so small I convinced myself I was imagining things, like when I'd be frowning while doing homework and I'd glance up to see my reflection's lips curled into the faintest smile, but when I looked directly at the mirror the smile would be gone. I told myself it was just the lighting or my eyes playing tricks, because what other explanation could there possibly be? I mean, mirrors don't just do things on their own. That's insane. That's the kind of thing that happens in bad horror movies. But it kept happening, growing more obvious with each passing day until I couldn't deny it anymore. I'd be crying about something stupid like a fight with my best friend Sarah, and my reflection would be smiling this cold, satisfied smile that made my skin crawl. I stopped looking at the mirror as much, started getting ready in the bathroom instead, but I couldn't bring myself to get rid of it. And I know that sounds stupid, but there was still something compelling about it. Then came the disappearances, and that's when real fear started coiling in my stomach like a living thing. I'd be standing right in front of the mirror, but my reflection wouldn't appear, just an empty reflection of my room with my bed and posters and the lamp on my nightstand. But no me, like I'd become a vampire or something. The first time it happened, I actually screamed, stumbling backward and knocking over my desk chair, and my mom came running upstairs asking what was wrong. But when I looked again, I was there in the mirror, pale and shaking but visible, so I lied and said I'd seen a spider. It started happening more frequently, sometimes for just a few seconds and sometimes for whole minutes, and I'd wave my arms or jump around and the mirror would show only my empty bedroom, and I began to feel like I was going crazy, like maybe I needed to see a therapist or get medication. I tried to tell Sarah about it one day at lunch, but the words sounded ridiculous coming out of my mouth, and she just laughed and said I should stop watching scary movies before bed. So I smiled and agreed and never brought it up again. The night it happened was a Tuesday. I remember because I'd stayed up late studying for a chemistry test, finally crawling into bed around midnight exhausted and ready to sleep, and I made sure to turn the mirror toward the wall before lying down, something I'd started doing every night. I fell asleep quickly, dropping into dreams about chemical formulas and periodic tables, but something woke me around 3 in the morning, a feeling of wrongness that pulled me from sleep like hands shaking my shoulders. The room was dark except for the moonlight streaming through my window, and I felt cold, so cold my teeth were chattering, and when I tried to sit up I couldn't, my hands pressing against something smooth and solid just inches from my face. Panic exploded in my chest as I realized I couldn't move forward, couldn't push through whatever barrier was in front of me, and when my eyes adjusted to the darkness, I saw my bedroom, but it looked wrong, reversed, like a negative image of reality. That's when I understood with horrible clarity that I was inside the mirror, trapped behind the glass in this cold, reversed world, and I started screaming and pounding on the barrier, but no sound came out, my voice swallowed by this impossible prison. I watched in horror as my reflection, no, not my reflection anymore, but something else wearing my face, sat up in my bed and stretched like she'd just woken from a wonderful sleep, and she turned to look directly at the mirror with a smile that was nothing like any expression I'd ever made. She walked over slowly, deliberately, and placed her hand against the glass, and I pressed my hand against the same spot from my side, feeling the cold surface between us, and her smile widened into something terrible and triumphant. "Thank you," she mouthed, though I couldn't hear her voice. I've been waiting so long for someone like you. And tears were streaming down my face as I pounded harder, trying desperately to break through or wake up from this nightmare. She watched me struggle for a few moments with what looked like amusement. Then she turned away and started going through my things, picking up my phone and scrolling through it like she was learning, studying how to be me. I screamed until my throat was raw, even though no sound escaped. I threw myself against the glass until my shoulders ached, but nothing worked. Nothing changed. I was stuck in this reversed world watching her take over my life. She put on my clothes, my favorite jeans and the sweater my grandmother gave me, and she practiced expressions in the bathroom mirror, my expressions, smiling and frowning and laughing until she got them just right. When my mom called up that it was time for breakfast, the thing wearing my face answered in my voice, "Coming, Mom," and it sounded perfect, exactly like me, and my heart sank because I knew no one would ever know the difference. I've been in here for what feels like days now, though time moves strangely in this glass prison, watching her live my life with subtle improvements, making me more likable and confident and happy. And the worst part is that everyone seems to prefer this version. She's patient with my little brother where I would have snapped at him. She's attentive in class where I would have daydreamed. She laughs at my dad's jokes and helps with dinner. And my parents keep commenting on what a good mood I'm in lately. Sarah came over yesterday and they talked for hours, and I watched my best friend bonding with this imposter, this thing that stole my face and my life. And Sarah looked happier than she ever did with the real me. Sometimes the mirror me looks back at where I'm trapped and smiles, and in those moments I can see something ancient and cold behind my own eyes, something that's probably been waiting in that mirror for decades or longer, patience beyond human understanding. I wonder about the mirror's previous owners, whether they're trapped somewhere too, in some other reflective surface, pressing their hands against glass that no one else can see through, and the thought makes me want to cry, but I'm almost out of tears. I've tried everything I can think of to escape, running through this reversed world looking for exits or weaknesses, but it's exactly like my room in every detail except backward, and beyond my bedroom door is just darkness, and void I'm too terrified to enter. The only thing I can do is watch and wait and hope that somehow someone will notice, that my mom will see something off in her daughter's eyes, or Sarah will realize her best friend has been replaced. But with each passing day that hope grows smaller. At night when the mirror me sleeps in my bed with a peaceful expression I never had, I press my face against the glass and whisper promises to myself that I won't give up, that I'll find a way out, that somehow I'll reclaim my life. But I can feel my resolve weakening as the cold seeps deeper into my bones. She's better at being me than I ever was, and maybe that's the cruelest part of this curse. Watching an improved version of yourself make everyone around you happier, proving that you were always somehow lacking. Sometimes I wonder if I should just accept this, let go and fade into whatever darkness exists beyond my bedroom door, but something stubborn in me refuses. Some core of identity that insists I am real, I matter, I deserve to exist in the world. So I stay pressed against the glass, watching my stolen life unfold, waiting for a mistake or an opportunity, because that mirror girl might have my face and my voice and my memories, but she doesn't have my determination, my survival instinct, my absolute refusal to disappear, and someday, somehow, I'm going to make her regret ever smiling back at me.